Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Raymond and Jay Negron with Beyond Failure to Reach Success. And what I help people do is I help them discover what their dream business is, start, grow, and launch and monetize, right? And scale to the market. And that's something I'm specializing in. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you today. I want to talk to you today about cutting people off. Sometimes in life, imagine this, you're with somebody, that you see day in and day out. And when you're with them, they're just complaining, whining, or just like giving you garbage. They're like basically bringing their garbage over to your house. And sometimes in life, if you want to go further, you have to cut people off. When you cut people off, you actually raise up to another bar, because I learned if people aren't pulling you up, they're pulling you down. And sometimes there's going to be people that are riding even with you, that are going to be competing against you. And I think that's phenomenal. And I think people need to compete with each other. I also believe that there needs to be people that are higher up than you, that are in a space that you're trying to get to and you're working towards. But you got to cut off the people that are below you, that are trying to drag you down because they see you grow and they see you personally developing to become a better version of yourself. And when that happens, they don't like it. That's the last thing that they want in this world. They're like, oh my God, this is scary. This guy is becoming better. He's increasing his network. He has new friends. He's making more money. He's actually volunteering more, right? And it scares these people, and they don't know what to think, because it demands and it commands something new of them, right? So in saying that, think about where you could cut toxic people off in your life, like people that are negative, right? That are naysayers, that are whiners, that are complainers, that have nothing good to say, and it's all negative, and it's just drowning, and it drowns you out. And it's like, hello, I don't, and it's just hostage negotiating whatever you're doing, right? It's taking you and removing you from the game you're trying to play, especially if you're working in your own business and you're trying to just get ahead in life, right? Because we're in a time right now where a lot of things can be perceived as bad, and perception is reality for most people. Perception, what they see, what they hear, right? When some of those people hear the news, they're like, oh my God, that must be the truth, right? Because I'm looking at it on TV, even though it's not in that area. It's not affecting you in that area. It's somewhere else. But the news brings everything in, and what you hear sometimes are the vibrations to your new reality, right? And, and it's interesting because, now maybe you could go back in time and you smell something, you remember something, and a certain smell will bring you back in time too. Maybe it'll bring you back to a bad time. Maybe, the smell of burnt tires brings you back to a time when you broke down with your best friend, when you were drunk somewhere and you couldn't change a tire or something. But, each thing brings you somewhere in your life. And toxic people, sometimes you just got to cut out of your life, because, it's funny. I give advice and counsel to a lot of people. I have a lot of guests. I have some people that I'm trying to create as clients. And I can tell the people that don't move or they don't do anything different to get from where they are to where they want to go. And I believe in helping and supporting people, but sometimes you can give great advice or nurture them along, and they just go backwards. And you keep doing it, and they just go backwards. And they keep doing it, you just go backwards. And if you're running a business that helps and supports people, that's what you're doing. And you're putting all your energy towards the people, that you care. If you're someone like me, you definitely care. You have like moments where you're just like, I've been where you were at, man. I know what it's like. And you do everything you can, but they seem to just keep sliding backwards. Sometimes you just got to cut them off, because you need to focus your attention, your time, your energy. I call it T time, right? Time, energy, attention. And you need to focus on the people that really want to grow as quickly as possible. Not saying you can't create something else, if you're an entrepreneur or business builder, that helps support people on a minor level until they get the training wheels on to break them off eventually and then come up, right? Sometimes it never happens, right? Most people, it never happens. But some people, there are those people, like I'm working with a few people right now that are just taking off. I give them a number, they hit it, and then they double it. Or I give them, some kind of challenge, or they're doing the math. They're doing how much money they need to support their business or support where they're going, and sometimes it's not all of this, it's just a certain number that makes them happy, and they're good with that, right? And I think it's important because, when you're cutting people out of your life that are toxic and you're deciding to surround yourself with people that elevate you and support your mindset and support your, what you do, like your health, your beliefs, and, they're pushing you. They're like, dude, that's awesome. Keep doing it, man. Or they're applauding you. They're like, dude, great job. Or they listen, but they're like, if you're complaining, maybe they go, get back out there. You know what I mean? You could either sit in the bleachers or you could go out and play the game and run the play, man. Keep running that play, right? Because you're doing good things. I see, the energy you're putting into what you're doing. I see the time. I see the attention. Sometimes you don't get everything right away. Sometimes it's 10 steps forward, 5 steps back, 30 steps forward, 40 steps back. And then you learned about why you fell back those 40 steps. But there's people that are either supporting you and pushing you, right? That make you a little uncomfortable. Or there's people that are like, dude, that's crazy. Why would you do that? Or they're giving you advice on something that they have never, ever, ever done themselves, ever, right? There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of you guys out there that probably hearing this and give advice to people that they know nothing about. It's just a way of having an ego. It's an ego hit, But when you cut those toxic people out, when you just cut them out of your life and you realize that there's certain people that you don't want to be around, sometimes it's better to walk that path alone. It's better. It improves you, right? For instance, today I got to go hang out on the Genius Network, and it was an amazing guest invite from Joe Polish and Dean Jackson and Alex Mandaloza. And, even though we're in this virtual world, we get to connect with these people that get to see you. And we're in a social media atmosphere. And even putting out a video like this, and I'm not editing this, I'm just going to put it out there. It's teaching me to do the reps, right? But I'm surrounding myself with people that demand and command a lot of me, right? And one thing I liked during the Genius Network Live today was, Alex, saying his name wrong, I know, Mandaloza gave us homework and said, take 1 hour after this and focus on everything we went over. And don't just focus on everything. Think of the things that you can apply to your life and do it right away. Because most of you guys are going to get off this and you're just going to throw the paper to the side and go on to your next thing. And the sample example is that we do that. We're in a world where we're in an age of dramatic distraction. And we have to be able to, cut these addictions. Toxic people are also addictions, technology addictions, right? Yeah, I'm doing the social media thing, but when I'm done with this, that's it. This is off. This goes off and I go to my next thing. Probably going to read for a little while. But it's like that's where we've come. We've come to get those dopamine hits, and sometimes with people, they give us those dopamine hits. They give us that emotional feeling of like, I can whine and complain with this guy and I could bathe in that little dopamine emotion, right? If you get angry a lot or you get emotional and or whatever it is, you keep doing that. The body says, oh, you want more of that. You like that feeling. It gives you a rush. It gives you a high. And then you soak in it and you immerse yourself in it. And that's it. That's what you're doing. And then your whole life goes like this. Your whole life just passes you by like this, right? But when you decide to create and make a change, when you see yourself making that change, when you can attach emotion, to that in which you want to feel and that in which you want to create, you start to elevate, right? But the thing is it's like you got to cut toxic people out of your life. And sometimes it's family, and family's kind of hard. Sometimes you could tune them out or just walk away or change the whole approach of, maybe even tell them, hey, you know what, you're pretty negative, and you could even, and it's funny because you might even tell them, say, hey, I don't like when you say that to me. I'd appreciate if when we talk, we have this conversation, appreciate you don't say that to me, or just don't say anything if you're going to talk like that. And a lot of times you got to keep doing it like 10, 15 times, or just keep reminding them and reminding them and reminding them. Sometimes it might take a while, but if you're going to choose to be around them more often than not, you're going to have to remind them that, you're searching for more out of life, because people don't realize that when you're around certain people, they negotiate your mind. The subconscious says, you know what, you're around a lot of negativity. I think that's what you might want, right? You might be thinking positively, but most of the times you're going backwards instead of forward. So I just wanted to leave you guys with that. Sometimes you just got to cut negative, toxic people out of your life. I think it's so important. And maybe make a list. Maybe make some, you know what? Here's a con list of people I just don't want in my life anymore, right? It's hard. It's like the warrior's way. Sometimes you got to cut loose and just cut loose so you can move forward. It's like cutting relationships out of your life. Like I was years ago in a toxic relationship and it wasn't good for me. I totally cut her out of my life, 100%. It was difficult. It's very difficult, and I just did it. And no regrets at all. And I feel like I'm walking a better path, and I'm in my stages of growth. And maybe you want the same thing. Maybe you're looking and searching for the same thing. And then the pro would be, who could I hang out with, or what networks can I join? What masterminds can I join? What groups can I join? I'm going to give you one group right now, Arte, right? If anyone's into growing a business, you know, or living a better life, or just trying to get better, and they're not just looking to hang out with people, but they're looking to improve their life, I'm going to definitely say the Arte Syndicate, man, which I'm a part of, and I think it's a great addition to my life. So, guys, just remember, you know, you have a choice to cut people out of your life, you know, and go meet new people. I don't think we as human beings meet enough new people. We got to put ourselves in and now we can do it virtually, right? You could just show up and just be like, hey, hi, you know, I'm over here in New York, you're in this, and we're doing this virtually. And when all this lifts and goes away, you'll be able to meet those people in person. So I hope that was helpful. So again, you know, what can you do to cut toxic people out of your life? What's the thing that you could do maybe today? Make a list of the people you want to hang out with, groups you want to be with, masterminds you want to be a part of. You know, maybe invest in a coach. I always say that, dude. I 100% believe that having a coach or a guide or anyone in your life, as I have a coach, and my coach does phenomenal things for me. And he helps me open my vision to what I truly want, and creating that vision with intention and hard work, right? So maybe that's what you want. So I hope this was useful. And again, I'm Raymond J. Negro, Beyond Failure to Reach Success. Have an amazing night. Take care.